Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Kyle Fletcher.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations. Started the pay-per-view with a great match tonight, and great to have the champion here. Any questions for Kyle?
Please.
Questions?
So what's it like being in Philly and defending your title?
Yeah, no, God, how many times have I been to Philly now? I want to say 3 or 4 times, and it's weirdly special to me because growing up in Australia, one of the places that I always really wanted to travel to was Philly because it had such reputable like wrestling training schools. So I think anytime I get to come here, wrestling in the ECW arena and stuff like that, it still blows my mind. So to be able to come here and open up a pay-per-view for Ring of Honor, it's, yeah, kind of blows my mind a little bit. It's cool. Cool.
Hi, Kate from Fightful. This is a question for both of you. We have Rocky Romero working in AEW now, and he has forged so many interpromotional relationships. So I was wondering if there's a possibility of a New Japan Strong crossover with ROH, and Kyle, if there's anybody in New Japan Strong that you would want to get your hands back on, maybe from previous bouts or new ones.
Yeah, absolutely. We love working with New Japan Strong and Rocky. It's a very unique and excellent situation with Rocky having office in AEW and still in New Japan. He's done great things for both companies, and tonight he's in CMLL in the semi-main event. And very, very cool, all the things he's doing. We would absolutely love for more crossover with New Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Strong tonight. Really great, not only partnering with New Japan Pro Wrestling and working with them to make sure Suzuki was here as a surprise, but also the partnership with Stardom for the first time. A lot of great things happening, and it's great working with Rocky, and of course somebody who's had a lot of great experience in AEW and ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling and Strong is Kyle.
Hell yeah. Just want to take this extra quick second to say thank you, Rocky Romero, for everything you do. He is one of the reasons for so many of the interpromotional relationships between all the companies in the world. He makes so much cool stuff happen, so just shout out to him. In regards to who I'd love to face from New Japan Strong, I got to wrestle Rocky in a singles match for the first time on the Jericho Cruise, and I would love to run that back. That was cool. Other than that, there are a couple of War Dogs that I would like to get some retribution on. I watched the cage match from Will Ospreay's last match in New Japan, and I think they're a bunch of scumbags that need to get the piss beaten out of them. So I'd love to do that.
Hey Kyle, Liam Crowley with comicbooks.com. You mentioned the War Dogs. Obviously, they had the feud in New Japan with United Empire. At the end of your match, you tossed the crowns up. I would love to know the status of the United Empire, if we can expect to see you guys working together on Ring of Honor TV or AEW TV soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when it comes to United Empire, we always talk about it as it's a family, because it really is. Will Ospreay has brought all these incredible like-minded individuals together, and through the tours, through all of it, we have like a really special bond. We start a group chat, we all talk crap in there all the time. It's great. I will not be revealing the contents, but yeah, no, we're brothers, and whatever promotion we show up in there, it could happen at any time. But very much still United Empire, family for life, and yeah, we'll pop up at some point, I'm sure.
Hey Kyle, it's John Pollock from Post Wrestling. Going back a couple of weeks ago on television with the match with Will Ospreay, could you just tell us a little bit about the preparation for that match, the pressure of delivering on national television, and conversely, the reception afterwards, what you feel that match has done for your career, especially for a U.S. audience?
Sure, absolutely. So as much as preparation goes, that was my first wrestling match in over a month. I had to go back to Australia. I had visa, not issues, but stuff I needed to get sorted out to get a new visa. So I came back on like 2 days notice before the pay-per-view. Just managed to get back for pay-per-view, which was awesome. And then on the pay-per-view, they announced that I'm wrestling Will Ospreay, which is possibly the biggest opportunity of my entire life, my entire career, against one of my best friends in such an awesome spot. So yeah, that pressure, especially it being my first match in over a month, was huge. But I think it's so important, I have found, to be constantly prepared for any opportunity to arise. I think if you get complacent or you're just not happy with where you are and you let your preparation, your gym, your diet slip to the wayside, those opportunities get thrust into your lap and maybe you don't deliver. So whilst I was in Australia waiting for this visa, I kept all of that up, and I keep all of that up all the time because I never know when that next opportunity is going to come knocking. So I was just happy that I was in the shape I was in to perform in that match, and in regards to what it's done for me, I think, man, Tony came up to me and he said, there's a very few number of matches on American television that have had 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. Whatever you think about the rating system, I think that's, for me, a huge deal, which is really cool. But more than that, I just got to go out with one of my best friends in the whole world and do the pro wrestling that I love. And I got the opportunity to show the pro wrestling that I love on such a massive stage with one of the people that I love most in this world. So it was really cool in a lot of aspects.
Corey Lee with the Wrestling Observer. Wanted to talk a little bit about your partner, Mark Davis. Obviously, he got injured, and now you were embarking on a singles career. Talk a little bit about how your kind of mindset changed from being in a tag team to now being a singles wrestler. And obviously, hopefully, Mark is getting healthy and will be back soon. Do you want to go back to the tag team? Because obviously, now that you're the Ring of Honor Television Champion, you're getting big singles matches. Do you want to continue with Mark Davis as a tag team?
Yeah, to answer that question, absolutely. As soon as Mark Davis is ready, Aussie Open will kickstart back up. There's no doubt about that. I think when it comes to adapting between the two, between singles wrestling and tag team wrestling, it might not seem like a massive difference, and sometimes in a lot of ways it's not. But the way I like to think about it is, for me, there's a lot more pressure with singles wrestling because all of the creative ideas, for the most part, are yours. As opposed to a tag team, traveling the roads together, you're constantly bouncing ideas back and forth, and then you bounce an idea off one person and they go, oh, what if we just changed it and did it like this? And it just makes the idea better. As opposed to with singles wrestling, all the ideas are just bouncing around in your own head. Obviously, there's other people that you can bounce ideas off, but for the most part, everything that you're producing is yours. And that's a lot scarier in a lot of ways. But I love both tag team wrestling and singles wrestling for different reasons. And when Mark Davis is back, I can't wait to get the tag team back up and running, but I plan on being greatest Ring of Honor Television Champion of all time, so I will continue on my quest to do that as well.
Kyle, Righteous Rage, Graph City Podcast. You talked a little bit about your visa, not issues, but having to get it renewed. Before that happened, you were newly crowned the Ring of Honor Television Champion, and you're kind of on a trajectory in Ring of Honor. And when you came back out, things kind of changed. What kind of went on with when you were out, and how did it feel to kind of come back to not a different Ring of Honor, but a Ring of Honor with kind of a renewed energy?
Yeah, for sure. There's a little bit of like, anytime you kind of take a hiatus from any part of wrestling, there's that question in your head of like, where do I fit back in when I come back? And that was definitely the case. But again, I love Ring of Honor, I love AEW, and regardless of the situation, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my best to do the best I can to make the product the best I can and make my performances the best they can be. So whatever is thrust into my lap, I'm just going to do the best with that. Yeah.
Hey Kyle, what's up? This is Jeff Berger from iHeart Media and HSP Podcast. So you set the tone opening the match today, and obviously you were talking about the Ring of Honor Television Championship. What does that mean to you right now, carrying that title and being like the flag bearer for that championship right now?
Yeah, I said it when I won it. I thought it was a huge deal. I mean, you look at the lineage of this championship, and I think that speaks volumes about what it means. look at literally the last champion, Samoa Joe, is now the AEW World Champion, the #1 wrestler in the world. So even that's massive shoes to fill. And you look back at even more of the lineage: Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, two of my mentors, my best friends. Yeah, it's crazy. One of my favorite wrestlers in the world, El Generico. Hope he's doing well wherever he is. But I said when I won this championship that I wanted to become the greatest Ring of Honor World Television Champion of all time. And when you have a lineage of champions like that, to be the best champion of all of them, to me that's like a huge mark of, look at the names that have held this belt, I'm better than all of them. So I think that is the biggest drive behind this championship reign, and it is an absolute honor to have my name amongst some of the greats.
Okay, one more question. Kyle, anyone?
Hi, Xenia from XT. I wanted to ask you about your current presentation. You've been experimenting with face paint, body paint. Is there any special meaning behind that, and how is it helping you express yourself?
Yeah, so one of the most beautiful things about professional wrestling to me is being able to follow a wrestler's journey. I don't know how long people have followed my journey, but I started wrestling in front yards in Australia when I was 12 years old. I wrestled in Australia, started training when I was 14, and I've really grown up in professional wrestling. I'm still growing up in professional wrestling. I still don't know exactly who I am as a human being, and I think that sometimes translates to pro wrestling as well. There's a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out still. And the face paint, the body paint, the gear, the hair, it's all that process of trying to find myself in the ring. And one of the things that I've found that has helped me a lot is taking inspiration from people that made me fall in love with pro wrestling. Tonight was a little bit of a homage to Jushin Liger, and he made me fall in love with Japanese wrestling. He was one of the first Japanese wrestlers I ever watched, and that led me down the path of wanting to get to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So yeah, just paying tribute to that, and in the same sense, trying to figure out who I am, and taking little bits and pieces from people that I love, and then yeah, getting to pay tribute to people like that tonight. It's really special.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Stand up.
Way to go.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it very much.